There is a new movie out in theaters that should be available at home on Prime. When they start making a film specifically for streaming, you could see it in the trailers. You ain't got to buy a ticket for it. Zach was able to go catch Red 1 last week, and he came in venting, talking about it being red garbage. This man said he needed a red card because that's a foul on the play for all of the stuff that he keeps doing in these movies. It is one of the worst trailers I've seen. Probably one of the it's bad because I don't want to say it's the worst movie we've seen all year. You and I deal with people all the time who say this is the worst thing I've seen, and it's like competent.
Yeah.
This is incompetent, but it's because it's like not even valuable for the dumbest parts of it that it makes it so frustrated because it's such a mess of a $250 million movie. There's a speech my brother gave to me once about the Cubs and how you shouldn't support them because they're not spending their money in the right way, and that is Red 1. To support a movie like this isn't to support Dwayne, that polar bear, Chris, anyone even in here, but it's to support the model that is Hollywood that uses and abuses money for no reason whatsoever, that pays all of their artists up for I said artists, that pays all of their talent up front for no reason whatsoever than to create this bubble where they get their money and they get to leave. You can fake being number one on Netflix, Mr. Dwayne, but you can't hide a flop at the box office, and that's what this is. Red
Absolutely.
1 is trash, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the classic, like, movie for nobody. Like, who is asking for, like, a militaristic take on Santa Claus with this kind of cast? I mean, there's, like, not even really, like, a fun kind of romantic element in the film either. Like, it really feels like it is a story for kids, yet because of the way they need to kind of, like, pump money into these things to justify making it a global blockbuster and put stuff in the trailers that people will get to watch. It like has the veneer of a spy thriller, but it's like the most impotent, personalityless spy thriller ever made. I cannot understand, like, why is a movie where the big takeaway is like about the magic of Christmas and the spirit of Christmas not PG? It doesn't make sense. I think, like, if you make this exact movie, like basically this exact script, slash the budget to like $30 million so everything isn't covered in these ugly CGI backdrops, replace The Rock with John Cena, like this thing just makes sense. I'm not going to say it's good, but at least it makes sense. This doesn't make sense.
Makes sense, Zach. It might make dollars, actually, because any other idea but this thing would have worked. It's PG-13 for no other reason than trying to copy Marvel. Mm-hmm. Everything they do in this movie, from the look of it, like you said, the aesthetics of the CGI to the way they set it up. Oh, is this guy over here a really good hacker? So we have to go, what is his Nick Fury outfit over here? We have to go take him so that he can be a part of this avenging team because of Santa? And then while he's there underground, did you see all the Easter eggs, Zach, for all the upcoming cinematic Red 1 Marvel? Like, every single thing about this movie is just to make it another franchise, and that's where you feel it the worst. It's like, that's why you pay $250 for this, just so you can be ahead of it already. They've had success, like we mentioned last time, with the director and Dwayne coming together for what would be the Jumanji series. They've made money there. The guy was able to turn Bad Teacher into a series as well. He made, like you mentioned last week, one of the best faux documentaries of all time, and then somehow didn't learn anything from it himself. Like, how can you be this self-aware?
Yeah. To make a movie like Walk Hard.
And then now someone should make a movie about the type of blockbusters you've been making.
Yeah. It is just crazy. And worst of all, it's like so predictable too. It's like one of those one of those movies where a scene will start and you know immediately what the broad arc of the scene is going to be. Like, they show up at Krampus's bar and they're going to have to get into a slap fight to get out of this. But then they just talk about nonsense for 3 minutes to get there. It's full of stuff that just ultimately doesn't matter and isn't clever or interesting enough to work here. I do want to talk to you a little bit about Chris Evans' performance here, though, because like I think Chris Evans is a talented actor. I enjoy him in parts like Knives Out, in Snowpiercer. I thought he was excellent.
He's great.
What is this? What is this thing he does where he like puts on like a vaguely regional accent to sort of pretend he's an everyman?
Bro, they've been pumping it up. Like, thank the Lord he finally got to use his accent. And I'm watching this movie going, that's not how he speaks. Like, y'all forget we still get to hear interviews with him.
Right.
What is that up on screen? And they keep lying to our faces. As if, like, he can finally speak in his original tongue. And it is the fakest thing. I agree. Yeah. He's, like, talking to The Rock and to Lucy Liu. Like,
it's like a Mark Wahlberg impression.
He's like a kid who sells newspapers for 5 cents back in Boston 1924, bro. I don't know what is going on with this accent. It does not work. And like you were mentioning as well, this idea of him always having to be the cool guy. Mm-hmm. He could be bad, but he can't be a loser, even though he is very much a loser in this movie. The idea is that he don't pay attention to his kid. He ain't paid anything. He's like wanted by everybody to the point that he's arrested by the North Pole offices because they gave away the location of the North Pole. Where would that be, Zach? The movie's just dumb. There's nothing wrong with this idea of trying to go rescue Santa. Like, what? That sounds delightful. But like Zach mentioned, making it PG-13, putting all this CGI slop, characters who aren't really that engaging. Like, him and The Rock are having an ego off, it feels like, the entire movie. Mm-hmm. Having featurettes where they're like, we don't hire assholes, has become the new asshole move, in my opinion. No one wants to hear you say that. That is really weird. To go back, because we're just going to have to keep mentioning it every episode. In Detroiters, the American classic television series, there's this one bit where they're doing an ad for wigs. And they put in a lyric, we don't use dead people hair. And she's like, why would you say that? It's like, because people have that question already. That is what these two are doing. By not just telling you, buy tickets to this delightful movie. No, buy tickets. You know, we had a lot of fun because none of us are assholes on set, I promise. Kids, please, please.
Some of us pee in water balls, but we are not assholes, I promise.
And the fact he admitted to that as well. I don't know if you want to recount that this was the movie where so much came out about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was a recent GQ feature on The Rock, and in that feature, he admitted to what was rumored on-set behavior where he would frequently show up late and pee in water bottles, during breaks and stuff like that. He didn't even deny it.
He said, I didn't show up 8 hours late.
He's like, yeah, that happens sometimes. What the fuck?
Nothing about the peeing in the waters. That's insane, bro. Go pee.
I promise the movie will be okay if you take a step into a porta potty. God damn.
You're gonna get pebbles in your. You can get stones, bro. Come on. Yikes. So again, ever since all that debacle with Fast and Furious and everything, I have found that to be my most annoying, my biggest pet peeve when people are pushing their movies, that there was no assholes on set. I was like, you shouldn't have to say that, bro. I think we'll be able to see it. I feel like you're getting ahead of it. It's the question people have on their mind. Let them know. And the entire time that you see them, it feels like they're all trying to one-up each other. Who really is the lead here? Is it the elf guy, or is it the human character we're supposed to follow? I was not vibing with it at all.
I know. So I gotta ask you, with the run that he's been on, the question used to be, can you smell what The Rock's cooking? And now I want to know, do you think The Rock's cooked?
Ooh, look at you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's done, bro. I mean, be it the big... He put all his chips on the table for DC, and it didn't go his way. And now he's had to come back and say,
fell on its face.
He's doing Moana 2. He's coming back to do a lot of these other spinoffs. I mean, he came back talking about no asshole rule. He came back for Fast X to return for the, 11 and whatever else they're going to be doing. I think that, to me, 100% showcases, like, yeah, he's had to do a pivot. And look, we can bash him. We could say whatever else. I think it also takes a lot of balls to be able to, like, put all your chips on the table for something that you did not get and then have to, like, restructure it. And I think it's The Rock. He's going to get out of it because I see the chat was also mentioning the Oppenheimer video. I'm not going to lie, bro. When he came out and started talking about having the exact same seat, I know it's overused already.
Yeah, so he had this promotional video for Red One where he talked about the amazing IMAX technology and how he went to go see a film in the same seat that Christopher Nolan sat in to watch Oppenheimer.
And there's that bit in the interview where he sits there and he goes, "This is for Red One." Magic. And I almost have to give it to him because I wish he would act like that.
Yeah.
I wish he could show us those acting chops in more movies, you know? Like the delusion you have to have as The Rock to be able to do that is some incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing else in the entire Red One thing made me laugh as hard as that. And it almost made Red One worth it because of that clip that went viral. I laughed so hard. So thank you for that, Dwayne. That was so funny because I also do believe it. He's like Cartman. You know he believes what he's saying.
Totally.
Even though he knows it's not true.
Yeah.
It's not even giant IMAX. That's my favorite part.
It really just feels like if there is a way out of him for this, and I think it is, basically what you were saying, through actually giving good performances again, giving a shit about your acting. And maybe we'll see a little bit of that in the upcoming movie he's doing, directed by Benny Safdie. One of the things that came out of that GQ profile was that he was like excited by the idea of challenging himself, and he hasn't felt challenged by a while. I don't know how much of that is just like PR mumbo jumbo, but like
100%
yeah, man,
PR.
Challenge yourself. You could be a good actor. I've seen Pain and Gain. I've seen Be Cool.
Exactly. Like, I've liked what we've seen so far, which is one still image, but this looks like it could be interesting. We also know it's got actual good directors. Pain and Gain was the other one we had mentioned when you had covered it the first time. We know he can do it. We've seen these two and the Oppenheimer video. We know you got the acting chops, my G. Please just put it up on film because that's what we need to see. I know you plugged it in already, so if I were to plug my score in right now, where's Red One? And that's the other part too. Red One, Red Notice. Bro, come on. Can't even get different titles anymore. It's like you got them all on.
Completely anonymous sounding. Personality-less like the movie. Yeah, I went, I think, 1.5 on this one. Where are you going?
1.5 as well, bro. There's just something about it that like really ticks me off because you're wasting so much money just to make it a pseudo franchise. So, Red One, watch it at home like you were supposed to. Prime said he was putting it. They were gonna put it up on streaming because it's an MGM type movie. They released it in theaters, and now they know the difference there. It is really embarrassing where the what's her name from Arrested Development? Pam.
Oh, Judy Greer.
Judy Greer. I said Pam because I was confused. Pam Greer. Judy Greer has a movie out about kids celebrating Christmas, and I think that's making more money than Red One. If you're in the spirit and you love your family, save all that money. Don't go to the theater. They're saving Christmas. We're saving y'all like $60. Do not watch this in the theater. You barely even should be watching Red Notice at home. Wait till this one comes out on Prime. Watch anything else. Someone had also said it was Brandon G. He has that Amazon mentality with peeing in the bottle. So there you go. He's a company man. What can you say?
Yeah.